All right, thank you so much for joining us here. A debut segment, No Limit Sports Live. We got Drew, we got Key, we got me, and we are here to extend the high school football conversation a little bit here. So let me tell you what you guys are going to do. If you have your phones or devices or whatever the case may be, log on to News 3's Facebook page, comment what team or topic you want us to talk about, and we are going to do this for about a half hour every Friday night so we can make you guys part of the conversation. But guys, first off, thanks for being here. What an exciting time.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it.
So, hey, the action wasted no time getting going. We saw some winning streaks end. We saw some really good performances. And, wow, what a night to usher in Thursday and Friday high school football for 2025.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's exciting. We're jumping straight into it. Got some big matchups. Some things that our, our local teams and, our local communities are excited about seeing. And it was cool to see some of these things unfold in these past 24, 48 hours.
Go ahead, Key.
Oh, yeah. Like you were saying, just excited to see I'm just excited to see new everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just new look teams, like new look Smith, new look Maury, new look Bethel, especially new look Bethel. Like, they're running back, like new stars. Like, they have a new running back. What's his name? Casey?
Kaysen.
I think he's number 9.
Yep.
He's an animal. So like
last name would come to me, Kaysen, number 9, no, definitely.
Yeah, he was a dog. Like Darling. By the way, Darling was packed for Bethel.
Was it? Okay, so Bethel, and Bethel looked good tonight.
Yeah.
Bethel looked good. What a way to start out. What a loud way to start out, too, right? Yes.
Absolutely. Just to see that new culture for many of these teams that we see growing here is actually working out for Bethel, them being able to not only, grow with the pieces they had. They look like a lot of people only had a speculation for Bethel. They needed a quarterback last season. It seems like they found that landing spot in Alexander Lewis as well, coming straight out from Warwick, with a little bit of experience, sitting under Cy Williams Jr. and whatnot. So for him to be able to take the reins over there as a Bruin and help lead the charge with that Bethel offense, I think is really, really, really good, honestly. And with the athlete Derek Fisher and Amari Pryor, just to complement what they're building over there, I mean, it's looking really good.
Yep, and Antonio Cummings.
Yes.
They have a whole bunch of stars that just broke out. They were just so young over the years, but now Bethel is here for sure.
Mm-hmm. We got Key Shuler, we got Drew Crosby from Sportsplug 757, the debut edition of No Limit Sports Live, talking high school football after everything's done, after hours, during Friday nights. Again, log on to News 3's WTKR Facebook page, leave in the comments what you want to talk about, team, topic, whatever, and that's what we're going to do every Friday during the season. Guys, we saw Maury and Oscar Smith both hit the road tonight to some pretty perennial powerhouses.
Absolutely.
Neither getting the result they wanted. Oscar Smith unable to score a point. Maury going back and forth and close to winning that game, but unable to pull it out. So 2 winning streaks from our state champions coming to an end this evening.
Oh, yes. A lot of people didn't know that Maury's top 10 on their winning streak at 30 and just ended. But it's okay. They always schedule, big games every year. Their freshman quarterback, Damo Everett.
Yep.
Yeah, he played great versus Cardinal Gibbons. Cardinal Gibbons is like one of those top teams in North Carolina. I think they played really, really good, in technically they say the Maury reloads don't rebuild.
Right.
In their rebuild league. They've rebuilt a year. So I think they played really good.
Yeah. I didn't see how much Matt Williams played at quarterback, if at all, tonight. So I'm not sure, but I know that Damo looked pretty good, at least from the highlights that we got and we saw there during the Friday Night Red Zone. I mean, big kid who definitely can use his legs too. We saw him kind of tuck and run a little bit. I don't think that was drawn up. I think that was him kind of improvising there.
Yes.
But Damo looked good.
Yeah,
definitely.
A new star came out. Maury's kicker, they have a new star in that kicker. They had
Charlie McCoy.
Yes, they had a lot of field goals. He kept them inside the game. Also, and even Cardinal Gibbons kicker. It was a good defensive matchup.
If you can kick a field goal over 40 yards in high school, I put you down as good.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, probably exceptional. That's pretty good. So, way to go, Charlie. And hey, let's also point out that nobody should be in panic mode right now.
Absolutely
right?
not.
Oscar Smith, Maury, anybody who lost tonight, one game does not define your season. Everything's fine.
Absolutely. This is not something to look down upon. You still have to play them. These are really good teams. They're really coached well, and they've got some great players, as many other teams do as well. Just when you brought it up, I just wanted to shout out the teams that are, taking these steps to not only, because you don't go into every game knowing that you're going to win, especially when it's games to this magnitude. So with them finding ways to battle test themselves and learn so much along the way, knowing where they're at, You know what I'm saying? Instead of, I guess, living by that thing, bite no more than you can chew, but more so, being able to devour what's right, what you choose to put on your plate. They are doing really well at being able to measure themselves out as far as competition and what that looks like for them going further outside of the state of Virginia.
No doubt at all. And if you're watching, you're watching No Limit Sports Live here, a weekly show we're doing. Please comment here in the bottom of the comment section so we can talk about the team that you guys want to talk about. That's why we're here, to let you guys drive this conversation. So please feel free. I want to bring up another guy who I saw in my game tonight, Lord Malik Haru. We were talking about new guys bursting onto the scene, and I'll tell you what, Lord looks like the real deal.
Absolutely.
He definitely, looked like he was getting it done tonight. Legs, arm, looked very comfortable, looked composed, played beyond his years, at least from what I saw in that 55-0 win over Granby. Not sure how much you guys have seen him, but my goodness, he's going to terrorize the Southeastern District here for the next several years.
I actually watched him in middle school. He played at Oscar Smith Middle.
That's right.
He was. They had a super team.
Yeah.
And he was a big part of the reason. He was a big part of the reason they were a super team. They was averaging at least 40, 50 points a game versus, the Chesapeake Middle schools when they were there. So I knew he would be something special. Didn't know where he was going to end up in high school, but, it's a perfect fit for him in Indian River. Indian River kind of had a quarterback problem the last couple of years, even though they had Tyler Allison, and last year they had a kid that transferred to Bayside, but they needed a star to fit the, to complement that great defense. And they always have the athletes. Indian River is never short of athletes, but yeah, I'm happy that he's there, and get to become a star early.
And I say, sorry, I'm just wanting to say.
No, fire away.
Your take on him, and shout out to Malik as well, because your take on that is no different from what I've heard, throughout this night. And I honestly, I really wish I was there to see what it looked like. I think the last time I got to see him was in middle school as well. To see this polished product and to see him now being the leader and, again, trailblazing, pushing forward with this offense, that's exciting to hear. So just to, hear things that we got from our analysts like Sportsplug, Dom, and yourself, I can't wait. I can't wait to catch me a Braves game.
Well, and hey, we still get to see him against Nansemond River, Kings Fork. That's cool. And let's hat tip here to first Jordan Mayo, the first guy who's going to give us a team to talk about. He wants to hear about Warhill. I believe Warhill knocked off Grafton last night, 35-7.
Yes.
Are the Lions back going to make some noise in that Bay Rivers district? So, Jordan, thanks a lot. We saw Warhill, I think, 2 years ago, put together an exceptional season. They might have even been 10-0, knocking off Lafayette. I think it was only the second time in school history that they did that. But now, it fell off a little bit last year, but still okay.
Yeah.
Are they back this year? Can Warhill make a run in the Bay Rivers? Jordan, thanks a lot for your question.
I think they're back. They could be a year away from that state title, Class 4 up there, state semifinal look, but I think they're actually looking really good this year. Like you said, 2 years ago they were really good, and they ran into a freshman, Maricus Banks. They lost to, and that Warhill team was really, really good that year, really, really good. But they ran into
a buzzsaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they ran into that Phoebus team. Running to Phoebus isn't always good, but
it's never good.
Yeah. So and that class was big. The guy, that class was really big. That class was really big.
Yes.
They had Eddie on that team.
Yep.
And the very next year, what was that? 2024, class 2024. That was very big. So like I said, they're freshmen and sophomore getting older. So now Warhill is here.
Yep. And they play, Jordan also says the thoughts all about the Warhill versus Lafayette game next week. Good question, Jordan. We saw Lafayette get a win tonight, 40-14 over Smithfield. Really a good statement by both these teams opening up their 2025 season. And I feel like this is a pretty early Warhill Lafayette game.
It is.
It is. It is.
I'm usually freezing when the game is come around. Usually freezing, but I like that. I love that game because of the student sections. They really make it.
I was about to say
college feel to it.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing in the game. So for Warhill and Lafayette with those, big competitions or rivalries, as we might say, you see a little bit of different things from those two teams as the stakes are a little bit higher as they take on each other, that big competition that they've been going in between each other these last couple of years. So again, Lafayette, we went to the Lafayette and Warhill game last year. I don't know, what it's looking like for Warhill now at the quarterback position. If that's something that they figured out all the way. I believe that they had an athlete there last year. I can't remember his name.
It was 2 years ago, but he went to Norfolk State.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Yes. Okay,
yes.
So just to be able to see that.
I'm trying to remember his name. It was one that stands out.
Yeah.
Man. I'll think of it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry there, Jordan. I'll think of it as soon as we sign off, I'm sure.
Jordan probably be able to help us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to be like upset when he says it because it's going to bother me. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. It's always fun to see that game. The Bay Rivers we talked about it tonight. They're fans, right? They always have really good fans.
Absolutely.
So hey, we're going to go from the peninsula and pop back down to Portsmouth, where Cyrus wants to talk about Norcom this year. Norcom, a little bit of a rough start going up to Richmond, falling to Thomas Jefferson 14-0. But Thomas Jefferson's always been a high-octane offense, at least not always, in recent years. Held him to 14 points, just really couldn't get it going and get on the board there up there in Richmond. We actually had a camera crew out there from our sister station and said that Thomas Jefferson's defense just looked really, really good.
Yeah.
But Norcom's always a team in Class 3 that seems to pop up and make some noise and at least be good for a couple rounds into the postseason.
Yes. And that's still something that I honestly expect from Norcom as they bring that type of power just as a team, community, and the coaching staff as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is the part 2, right, to the playoffs last year of TJ and Norcom as well. I think that it was like a 7-5-7 versus 804.
It was another early season.
They played early in the season last year.
It was early season. Okay, yeah.
And I think TJ jumped out to a pretty big lead in North, and it was Liam Francisque. Thank you very much, Jen and Jesse. You guys saved me, and I should have remembered that. Sorry, Norcom, carry on.
No, absolutely. So, it's the part 2 to it, and again, coming up short there, I'm pretty sure it's going to be something that they're going to be aiming to, achieve towards beating TJ again. That's a pretty good team, and I love, I got to talk to meet with a couple of coaches that they had last year. Love the culture that they're building over there. They got some things that they're trying to do, and those guys are hungry. So it's definitely a tough team to go against any team that's they're hungry at the level that they are. So.
Yeah, and like Drew said earlier, teams playing good competition early is always good to see. It can be a good measuring stick in a good way, like a really good way. TJ is supposed to be the Class 2 favorite to win the state championship this year. And, for Norcom, everyone counted them out because they had, Matthew graduated, their best lineman transferred to IMG. So everyone counted them out like Norcom wasn't going to be, in the top of the Eastern. They look really good versus TJ. Defense only held them to 14 points. I know they didn't score, but TJ, they got some good transfers in. And they were good last year, and they're, supposed to be super great really great this year. So.
And you have a base. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Keith.
No, you're okay.
You have a baseline now, right?
Yeah.
You have somewhere to go, somewhere to train. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, they're supposed to be really, really good this year. So I like where Norcom is headed this year. In their schedule, like I said, every year Norcom actually plays good teams. They played Highland Springs before. Like they played some really. I think they played a team. They played Oscar Smith. They played a team in Maryland when they were hot. Yeah. So Norcom really doesn't duck any smoke. They really want to see it.
I'm all for it.
David Aldrich in the Weather Center giving us a shout out. David, thanks a lot. Definitely paving the trail there with his first warning live.
Thank you.
Love watching that Monday to Thursday, so check that out for all your weather latest. Staying in the Eastern District, Cyrus was Norcom. Corey wants to talk about Maury. No shortage of things to talk about. That we talk about them reloading, not rebuilding, even though Doree McCain says he doesn't like to phrase it that way. But that's what they do. And another team that doesn't shy away from a tough early schedule. It gets them ready for the postseason. Obviously, they're battle-tested. And a lot of these guys who are playing for them now, who maybe didn't start last year, still played significant minutes last year because of the way the Commodores play. So, again, 0-1, not a big deal. Now you got to bounce right back and go to Varina next week, right? But still, Maury's Maury still, right?
Absolutely. I mean, what better of a week or type of game or experience than coming off of a game like this, right? I talked about that hunger and everything like that. If that factor isn't factoring for Maury going into that first game, I'm sure it will for week 2 as well. Like, it's, again, and I'm not saying that they already have it made out that they're going to, execute and whatnot, but more so just having it in your mind like, hey, man, we can be beaten. So sometimes these things like this are a wake-up call or advance forward that, hey, man, we need to get this ball back rolling and whatever that looks like, right? So for them, I mean, again, I'm all for them going up there and battle testing themselves to the limits that they did. I'm pretty sure they figured out so many other things and they'll be ready to go on to the rest of their schedule as well. That early battle testing, that early game schedule with this type of competition, I mean, it's nothing like it. So again, for me, I think it's Maury's going to be just fine. I tell you, Maury, don't hold your breath. Don't laugh too hard. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they'll do well.
I told Drew earlier, like having Maury as an underdog and with a chip on his shoulder coming in next week against Verona is scary.
Oh yeah,
having the powerhouse.
When's the last time that happened?
Yes,
right.
And a lot of these kids on the roster now, I think none of them lost a game at Maury. I think the class 26 and 27. Yeah, they were freshmen. Yeah, they never lost a game. They never lost a game. I'm not sure if
Was the state championship game in 22 against Highland Springs, was that their last loss before tonight?
Yes, that's actually was. Yeah,
Unless I'm mixing my years
December,
up.
Yep, December 10th, 2022.
Yep.
Yeah, so none of these players lost a game.
He's a computer man.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia, it's all up here. Yeah, right.
None of these kids lost a game. So, it's good to get that out early in the season. So I'm sure, they play early, they go straight from Cardinal Gibbon to Verona. Everyone's so high on Verona. They have a lot of good transfers coming in. They're supposed to have, they have a three-headed monster at running back. Their quarterback is all-state. They have an all-state lineman that's going to Virginia, and they have a lot of great players.
Yep.
It's going to be really good. Good early challenge for these young guys.
This type of hype can make or break.
Well, and it's also they're going on the road for a second straight week,
yes.
right? They're going,
yes.
so they're going up there, and
yes.
Verona, that can get to be a pretty. They pack it out up there. Now, it's been a few years since I've seen a game there, but Marcus Lewis always has his guys ready. I guess they got Sir Paul there too, right? So I mean, he's a pretty big threat. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. Thanks to Chris for shouting us out. Thanks to Jen for shouting us out. We know Jen pretty well. We talked about that Maury and Verona game next week, but that's a headliner to a pretty fun week, because another one that jumped out at me, guys, was Kings Fort kicking off its season against HDYs.
Yes.
At home.
I have no predictions on this one at all, but I do think that this is going to be another episode of good battle testing. I mean, this is going to be a good game of football nonetheless. I don't really see anybody pulling off too far. Maybe, 14, 21, maybe out to 14. That's about where I'm ranging it. But I'm talking about some real good, hard-nosed football. Like, again, Kings Fork has that, and Coach said it himself, championship or bust. And, for me, that's a lot of pressure to put on the organization, a coach, a player. But, to have him say that, there's got to be something. Not only does he might have up his sleeve, but, hey, they're ready.
Yep.
And I know the Bulldogs are going to be ready to do that with him as well. So, going into this game, there's going to be a big statement again towards what we could see going on into the season. Not, shaping the whole season out for him, but, hey, a real clear picture.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think one of my questions that I like to ask people every season, maybe you guys do the same thing when you're out talking to these schools, do you, with state championship aspirations, do you guys talk about that in August? Do you let your kids talk about that in August? And, it's a flip of a coin whether teams say, yeah, we do, or, you know what, no, we're just focused on the day-to-day right now. We'll get to that when we get to that. But there are teams that say, Oscar Smith and Maury both, they don't shy away from talking about playing in December right now. They want to talk about that. Other teams are more like, hey, the business we take care of now in August is what's going to take care of that. So, no, we don't want our guys to talk about it. Where do you guys see that falling? Do you see that kind of the 50-50 thing, or do you see more of one or the other?
It depends on each team has a different, I guess,
philosophy.
Yeah, and I think it depends on the team and the history also. Like Kings Fort, they expect Kings Fort to be there. They expect Kings Fort to be in a conversation. Teams that's surprising to be there, or just recently, like Ward. People put high expectation on Ward to be in the state. That's not realistic for them to be in the state championship, the semifinals every year.
Yeah.
But Kings Fork, they're in the Southeastern District. They're most talked about. And yes, a lot of people say they've fallen short every year and not even making it to the state semifinals since they lost to Verona 2021.
Yep.
So ever since then, y'all made it there. So let's get back.
They've also moved up a class.
Yes, and they moved up a class just like Warwick. Warwick went through the same thing. As soon as they went to the state semifinals the next year, moved up a class. So you have to give them time also to adjust to the competition in that class. So excuse me. So what I think Coach was getting at, the window might be, it's going to be a rebuild for Kings Fort. They're 2026 heavy. With their classes very senior heavy this year, and that's just a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent on their team. They have two good quarterbacks. They have Anthony Henderson.
Yep.
You know, linebacker. I mean, everything good. You know, the secondary, even with the loss of Ford, they still look good. They look even better, to be honest. So, I mean, with them, I see why he's saying, like, why he would say it's championship or bust this year.
Pittman too? Is he?
Yeah, Pittman's still there. Pittman's
Yeah,
still
and
there.
he's the Virginia Tech commit. We got a chance to talk to him, and he one of your guys ranked him as the top linebacker in the area or the state. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, it was definitely the state. One of the guys ranked him as top in the state. Drew actually discovered him as a sophomore. He blew up my phone. I was at another game. He said, "You got to see this kid. Like, he's really like he was telling about his size, and he was causing like." He was terrorizing Churchland that game. He, you know, Drew was calling me, FaceTime me, saying,
Right.
Game one.
Hey, we got a special kid here, right?
Yeah, game one, young Joshua Pittman. I mean, he was taking off, and we were covering so many games at a time. I got a chance to check out Churchland and Kings Fork early. And before I missed it, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to say no to your answer as far as talking about state champion.
Yeah.
And that's most of the teams. So, like, I mean, if I can't really talk too much about Disney World if I've never been there. So, and I'm not saying that they've never been there, right?
No.
But it's about respecting that fact that, you know, maybe your school did go the last 4 years, maybe not your graduating class or whatnot. But as far as that right now, I should be only hearing from state championship winners and the ones that was runner-up, the one that they lost against, right?
Yep.
And then everybody else should be working to get towards semifinals, winning their class, winning their whatever that looks like. You know, just keep the main thing in overtime.
Where your feet are, so to speak.
And keep the main thing, and do all you can do. And over time, all you've done will be enough. And I think that applies here with football in so many different aspects as well. If you have not been there, if you're not that close, you got a couple of things that you got to get over the hump with. Hey, let's try to you know, let's take the easy road and kind of, you know, just let the thing mellow out as we start to grow. No, not too much pressure on yourself.
You guys are mashing the fire emoji, which I appreciate. That's the most popular one. Pierre, thanks a lot. Jeffrey, thanks a lot. Teray, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you very much. Dom, who's right back here, the Sportsplug analyst, says, good test for Kings Fork. We got a top 10 ranked team in Maryland. It's going to be a hot fire game, definitely. What we were just talking about. And then let's see here. Someone else said, oh yeah, here we go. Let's see here. Therese says, Sportsplug 757 doing big things. You guys are. You were everywhere tonight, and we appreciate your help, obviously. But we're wrapping. We got about 3 minutes to go here before we're going to sign off. Again, feel free to chime in the contents, and we'll fit you guys in under the wire here. But you know, so we have those games coming up. Did anything else big jump out at you guys from Thursday or Friday? Maynard did their thing.
Great answer,
people counted them out.
Yeah.
You know, the Denby hype train was there, which was reasonable. Like, they had some good players come through.
Yep.
You have a 4-star quarterback. Maynard, like, they shut all that down. They came out and they played. They even made, I mean, they was both making mistakes, but Maynard, like, was capitalizing off Denby's more than Denby was capitalizing off Maynard.
Right,
you know?
right,
So Maynard
right.
was looking. Eastern District did, like, they're the winners of the weekend.
I'll tell you what. Well, in Portsmouth, we were talking about Norcom, who played a good game despite falling 14-0. Churchland and you were talking about the Mustangs. They both got pretty nice, solid wins. A 50 spot from Churchland, and then the Mustangs putting up 22-8 over Denby. That was two good games.
Absolutely.
Maynard was really quiet this offseason too. Like, they didn't say much. I saw them at Lansdowne. I saw them at the Lansdowne scrimmages. And, you know, I was telling Drew, I said, they're looking decent versus Kings Fork and Oscar Smith. Like, they're not getting bullied, and they look pretty decent. Like,
holding their own.
Not like a team that's lost by 100 or 98 points, right?
So they definitely are. Like, I'm excited for them. Like, me and Drew went to a game. They played Norcom. They looked so defeated on the sideline. Like, it just felt bad a couple years ago. And, like, just to see them actually win, like, go to a Maynard game and they win. And it was just like, it was exciting, though, just to see it. You know, the coaches, everything was great.
Shout out to both teams, though. Shout out to both teams. One team coming off of that same type of season. They just got 2 wins, which was considered a win for them. For the previous season before that, Maynard losing to the point to where they did last year. And again, it's not to really bring it up over and over, but I always, even on our platform, we like to highlight the good, the bads, and if it gets a little bit ugly, how can we make it better, right? So one of those things is them growing from this, getting that win. I mean, we hate to see it for Denby as they're trying so hard right now to nourish this new culture, but at the same time, that's a really good position for Maynard as they're stepping into their next week, and now they got that win under their belt. I mean, hey.
Jamestown also put up a good fight.
Jamestown put up a good fight against Tab, absolutely. And again, let's say it again. 0-1 doesn't mean anything. It does not mean Cyrus, real quick. Is Lake Taylor back?
We got to. I need one
The
more.
sample size might be too small, Cyrus.
yes.
Good
There we
question.
go.
The sample size might be too small.
They play Hampton next week.
So that they do play Hampton next week. That's Hampton's
That's a
opener.
good
That'll
game.
be a fun game. But
I will
you
tell
know
you,
what?
this is going in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They look good against Keharee. We had Mello out there tonight on the peninsula, and I mean, based on what he said, they looked pretty good. Special teams, defense, and offense. All three phases by the Titans. That's Hank Sawyer, baby. That's what we're talking about when we come
Our coach
to Lake
Sawyer.
Taylor. So, yep.
It seemed like they had a lot of fun in the trenches. The running backs was able to gain some yardage on the ground from the highlights that I've seen there. I've seen a little bit of, in the air, a little bit of an air raid going on, but it looks like they've been really able to trail as they were pushing on the ground there. And I want to be able to look over the whole game to make sure I'm getting a clear picture, of course. But just to see that, that line, I mean, I remember them having Darian McKenzie over there and guys over there. I really love the Lake Taylor coaches. Shout out to coaches again over there. I just want to, I just need to see just a little bit, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then we can kind of say that thing. We're in this day and age now where we get one example and everybody championship or bust. Are we back? Are we? And hey, it's just we'll see.
We'll see exactly. Now, the three of us could stand here and talk high school football all night. However, we do have to let the staff get home here on this Friday. Very nice of Daniela, very nice of Melvin, Dom, David's still over there hanging out with us here until midnight. Drew Crosby, Shuler, thanks so much for coming in. Going to be a fun season.
Yes.
We're doing this every Friday night during the season, everybody. Pull out that Facebook page, comment what you want to talk about, and we'll be here to answer your questions. For the guys, I'm me. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.